After the ball is over, after this game is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 325. It is Tuesday, September 25th, 2018 as we are recording. We're recording a little later than we normally do because we got back from retreat yesterday and we slept in today, so we're running a little behind. We want to welcome all new and returning viewers. Well, actually, I guess we should introduce ourselves first. I am Marleisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Francisca Gypsy.
We do want to welcome all new and returning viewers. We're glad to have you with us. If you are new, we hope you find something that you enjoy and that you will return to keep us company. We like that. If you are returning, we're glad to have you back. And if you are in the shadows, new or returning people, please do feel free to join the Ravelry group on Ravelry. It's a Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast group. Join us officially so you can be eligible for the prizes and the giveaways and things like that, and all the camaraderie is there. If you are watching us on YouTube, as many of you are, please do subscribe. Press the little subscribe button on your right, and hit the little bell so you can get subscription notifications, not subscription notifications, but podcast notifications, so you know when we've posted. We are a couple of days late, well, day late because of the retreat, but we normally, well, our normal schedule's out of the window. We will start podcasting after next week on Saturdays, most likely. But this week is Tuesday and next week is Sunday. So after that, it will be Saturdays. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. We do have a new member to welcome officially. I think it's pronounced Irina B, like a bumblebee, kind of like B-wing. So Irina B, who's Irina, we're glad to have you with us. And if we've mispronounced your name, or if I've mispronounced your name, please let me know so we can know in the future what to call you correctly. Okay? So we're glad to have you with us officially.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome, welcome. Before we get into the podcast, there's a couple of things I want to get to. One of them is the Good Life Gratitude Shawl giveaway winners. Now that pattern, the Good Life Gratitude Shawl, was Debbie Hostis is very, very talented. That's Deb's Destiny on Ravelry. She's one half of the Never Cast Off podcast. And she graciously donated 2 copies of her new shawl pattern called the Good Life Gratitude Shawl. All right, and it's a beautiful shawl. She gave us 2 copies to give to you. So we had 8 posts in the group for these 2 patterns. So we had a good amount of participation. And the winners are number 2, who is Steph Keith. That's Stephanie. Okay, Stephanie, well, congratulations. And number 5, who is Mira Cara. I'm sorry, Sylvie, I don't know how to pronounce it. I know you've told me before, and I keep forgetting. Sylvie and Stephanie. Steph Keith and
Silly.
Mira Cara, number 5. Contact Deb's Destiny and tell her that you won the Good Life Gratitude Shawl pattern that she gifted to us to give away here on Pen, Hook, and Needles. Okay, congratulations. The coupon code that Debbie gave us for 30% off is still good. It runs through September 30th. Okay, and the code is in the thread, in the giveaway thread, the last for the shawl. Okay, so it's going to be for another couple of days, or I guess a little more than a couple of days, maybe 3 or 4 days. 4 days.
And it's also on show notes.
Oh, it's on the show notes as well.
Yeah,
so,
I'm posting on the show notes.
Awesome. So if you want to get 30% off her pattern, you have that option. That coupon code's there. Debbie has been very generous with us. She's very sweet. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and this came out of the retreat, you guys are great when we ask for help for things. And we have a fellow Holy Family Institute member whose daughter has had a really rough road. She had a brain tumor removed, and they don't know if it's coming back. But anyway, she's losing her hair. She got lupus, and she's having all kinds of major issues. She's only, I think she said, about 52 years old.
Something like that.
And she's kind of depressed, and as you can well imagine, because the doctors just kind of don't seem to know what's going on. But she's losing her hair, and she doesn't feel like she can go out or anything like that. Her mom has said that maybe some pretty hats might help her. So we're asking for donations for hats, okay? Adult hats, soft hats that will make her feel pretty, cotton or superwash wool maybe. Her favorite color is blue. She loves the Browns, the Cleveland Browns colors. And what was the other one?
Indians.
The Cleveland Indians colors. So you're looking at oranges and reds if you want to do fall colors. She does, I'm sure any colors that are pretty would
Make her feel better.
her feel better. She doesn't feel like she can go out because she doesn't feel pretty. Okay, she doesn't feel like she can. I think she feels a little uneasy or embarrassed to go out.
Yeah.
Which she shouldn't. But but that's easier said than done. If any of you feel called or led to do something like this, you can send the hats to us, and we will get them to my friend at the HFI retreat, and I know they would be very much appreciated. I'm going to try to get at least one done for her, and your prayers for her would be very much appreciated. I will try to remember to put her in the prayer group, so you can say prayers for her, because I know that your prayers and good wishes will be very much appreciated as well. Okay, so that I will move on. Thank you. No pressure. Okay, no pressure. If you feel called, okay. Thank you if you do, all right? And if you don't, and you just want to have prayers and good wishes, thank you for that too, okay? All right.
Before we move on to longs, what's in your mug?
Oh, yes. In my Tortoise versus Hair mug, let me turn it to the right side. I was going to have another Plum Deluxe tea, but I've been doing Plum Deluxe teas pretty consistently. I thought I wanted to have some chai tea today because it's raining and I need it. So there's my tortoise, and there's the hair for the Tortoise versus Hair.
And in my Tudor mug,
I haven't used that one in a while.
No, I haven't. Partially because before it was hidden under a bunch of stuff.
She's actually been cleaning out her room, so that's cool.
This is Plum Deluxe tea, white chocolate peppermint herbal tea for sweet and cozy moments. And I've got Rubio's tea, honeybush tea, cocoa nibs, coconut flakes, white chocolate essence, no caffeine. No love or gratitude either.
Aww.
But
no love and
I think I had this tea last week too.
What is it?
I think I had the white chocolate peppermint
yes, you did.
Herbal tea.
Yes, you did. So I don't need to taste it. I already tasted it.
Oh, that's fine. I won't share you.
Thank you.
Since you don't want it.
That's the mother's prerogative to change her mind. Let's see. I love the way it smells. I told Andy how much I liked his Stargazer. That's amazing. That Stargazing caramel mate, whatever it is. I have to go back and check. Yeah, it's good. Okay, now moving on. In other groups, we have the Ready Set Christmas 2018 along. That's in Studio Von Designs in her Bee's Knees group, and that's Bonnie, okay, one of our moderators. She has her own group. It's not a podcast group, but it's a really fun group, okay? So this is about Christmas stuff, okay? The rules and everything are in her group, so go check it out if you're looking for something to help motivate you to do Christmas gifts. You know, from what I understand, as long as it's not like a certain amount, you can use whips. So you might want to take a look at that. Knit, Crochet, and Loom. She is using my yarn and Talia's patterns for feature pattern type things for double chance at a prize for the FO, and she's also using her own patterns and round table yarns. So if you're looking to try a new yarn, or you want to try something with my yarn that you have in your stash or whatever, then this is a good time to use it because you can get double chances at a prize for the FO. Same thing with Talia's patterns. So okay, and and her Bonnie, I don't know how many patterns she has, but I know she has at least 2 or 3 coasters that are really adorable. I have to go check her Ravelry store. I haven't been there in a while. And see what she has. And I believe she's crochet for her patterns.
I believe you're correct.
I know the coasters are.
Coasters are.
Okay. The Harry Potter Cal is in Victorian Studios podcast group, and that's Maureen. and the rules are in her group. It's anything Harry Potter related. And, if you're interested in that, it's a great podcast to watch. Just check out her rules there. It's all there. She's very accessible if you have questions. The Family Movie Night Cal is Crocheting Whovian in her podcast group, a Crocheting Whovian. And it's, kind of like our Tia Tales, only with, family movies and things. And the rules are in her group. Her podcast is a lot of fun to watch. So you might want to check out the rules there, okay? And she also has the Year of Socks Cal, and that's the whole year. So, you can see, again, when you're there checking out the rules for the Family Movie Night, you can check out the rules for the Year of Socks.
Mm-hmm.
The Shorty Socks Cal's Undead Yarn, that's Heidi. And that's also a year long, and that's in the Knitty Girl's her name. The Undead Yarn is her podcast group. And that's another fun group. She... I'm not sure what kind of schedule she's on for podcasting. I know she works full time as a teacher or a speech therapist, I think it is. But she, when she does podcast, it's a lot of fun to watch, and I love her projects and things like that. So you might want to take a look at her podcast, and if you want to stick your socks in there, you can win something.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty fun, and she's been one of the instrumental people in getting me to start my own dyeing. So she's fantastic. She does have an Etsy shop for dyeing yarn.
Because I don't know how active her... she had a website for a while, and I think she still has it, but I think she still mainly sells off of Etsy.
I think she does. She keeps saying that she might move, but I don't know when she's going to do that or if she's actually going to do that. Mm. Now, the 18 hats in 2018, that's B-Wing. That's Brittany. So if you have hats that you don't know what to do with, that, or if you make hats for what we just asked for,
mm-hmm.
put them in for the 18 hats for 2018, okay? I don't know if she has prizes or not. I haven't been there in a while, about a week, so I need to go check. But in any event, it's a lot of fun. The group is a lot of fun. And if you don't know what to do with the hats, I'm sure she can take care of them just like we can, for charities. She has many charities. We have charities for hats. So, if you don't know what to do with them, let us know. But if you want to make them Christmas gifts or whatever for yourself, that'll work as well,
mm-hmm.
okay? There's the 2018 tracking stash. That's Deb's Destiny and Blue Yarn Always. Okay, Deb's Destiny, who is Debbie, who donated those shawl patterns to us, and Blue Yarn Always, who is Sheila, Never Cast Off podcast. Okay, and the rules are in that group. And they might have another podcast up. I think they had one up just before I left. A couple weeks before I left. I know they're having a difficulty getting their schedules to mesh, but when they do podcasts together, they're really fun to watch. And Debbie's a lot of fun to watch when she does it herself. I haven't seen one with Sheila by herself. I don't know if she does them by herself, but it's fun to watch. Sometimes you can catch Sheila over at the Yarn and I podcast. Cappy's.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. Now, tortoise versus hare. Okay, this is not our baby. This is Laura Concerts, but we are involved as
mm-hmm.
co-hosts. She graciously asked us to do this, so we're doing this for the third year in a row. The other co-host is B-Wing, who is Brittany, and she's been doing it for 2 years, and this is tortoise versus hare. Okay, however you can make it happen, tortoise versus hare. Team tortoise, team hare. Laura's team tortoise, I'm team tortoise, Brittany's team tortoise, Taya's team hare, Valeria's team hare, Beth is team tortoise. Studio Von Design, Bonnie is team tortoise. So we've got a lot of, I don't know who everybody is. Those are the ones off the top of my head. Sue is team tortoise. Sue is a big team tortoise.
She's very much.
She's very much a team tortoise. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. You do not have to be the podcast group to which you are posting your projects does not determine whether you're team tortoise or team hare.
It is your personal choice.
It's your personal choice, and then you post in whatever group that you're involved with. Just make sure you're a member of the group to be able to do that, okay?
And I mean, technically, if you felt like making both tortoises and hares, you don't have to choose an affiliation.
We have at least one member who is Team Switzerland, or Team Sweden, whatever she said she was. Laura Smoot said that she was Team Sweden. But
I thought she said Switzerland, but I can't remember.
Well, I remember it being Sweden because I asked about it. I said I thought Switzerland was neutral. And she said something about Sweden as well. So I might be mistaken. That was last year. So anyway.
That was over a year ago. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember that. I can't remember yesterday, let alone last year. So, okay. All the rules are in Laura's group. Our rules are in our group. Brittany's rules are in her group. For us, it's one WIP per project per week. The FO whenever it's finished. tortoise versus hare, okay, tortoise or hare, whatever. If you have it in my yarn, it's eligible for 2 chances at a prize for the FO. Talia's yarn, Talia's pattern, tortoise or hare, 2 chances for the prize for the finished object. If you use my yarn with her pattern, it's 3 chances at a prize for the FO, okay? And I think that's in Laura's group as well. Oh, and Vani's tortoise and hare little coaster pot holder things.
Yeah.
They're adorable. Those are eligible for 2 chances at a prize for the FO, and if you use my yarn in that, 3. It's a featured pattern, okay? All right, and that goes to the end of the month. So you have about 5 days to finish those tortoises and hares. Tortoises and hares? Yeah, I think that's right.
That's correct.
Tortoises and hares, finishing up. Not to worry, though, if you are doing toys for the tortoise versus hare, we have the toy along coming up.
Yes.
Okay, and I forgot to mention that at the top of the podcast. The toy along is coming up October 1st, and I will put a thread in there as soon as I get a chance, okay, to start the chatter and what you're going to make and all that kind of stuff. So
I know
if you
Davina keeps hoping I'll make her dog, which means I need to finish her pony.
finish my pony, yeah, you got it right this time,
Poor
pony.
Steve.
So, you know, don't worry. If you don't finish a toy that's tortoise or hare, you can do the toy along, okay? All right, we have a couple of prizes for that. We have an Interweave Crochet 2009 collection CD, and we have Happy Fuzzy yarn in the macaw colorway.
And that's for tortoise versus
That's
hare.
for tortoise versus hare. Now, the Tea and Tails is our year-long Cal that's going on right now.
For our first year long.
And I'm having so much fun with it. I know I'm way behind because I was on retreat and I haven't been able to look online, so I'm way behind, but I always love seeing what y'all are doing, okay? This ran from January 1st and it goes all the way through to December 31st, okay? The midnight into January 1st. It has to be related to tea and or tales, okay? Chapter books or graphic novels or, you know, novelizations, regular novels. You know, if you have a question, ask us. Ask Valeria, ask Vani, ask Sue, okay? And even some of our other members, like Brittany, will know exactly what we're talking about. They've been with us for a long time, okay? So if you have any questions, just ask and somebody will let you know if you answer it. If they don't know, they'll ear burn us, okay? Projects must be loom knit or crocheted. All our alongs are like that now. We include loom knit. Previous whips will be allowed, but must be worked on during the along and reflect the theme. Tea and or tails. It doesn't have to be both, although if it can, if it does, it's awesome. All right. Chatter and pictures are in the same thread, and projects must be tied, as I said, to tea and or tails. Any Franciscan Gypsy Designs FO that can be tied to tea and or tails is eligible for 2 chances at a prize for the FO. Anything that uses my yarn, either in the name of my yarn or the pattern or the project or whatever, if you can relate it to tea and or tails and it's my yarn, then it will be eligible for 2 chances at a prize for the FO. And if you use my pattern, her yarn, 3 chances at a prize for the FO. We also have other featured patterns that if they're with my yarn, they're eligible for 3 chances at a prize. If they're used alone, it's 2. These are Joanna Johnson's knit patterns. I believe she's all knit, related to tea and or tails. She's got a ton of things that are related to tails. Loom Knit Patterns by Mom Cook, who is Renee. She's got a ton of patterns that are related to tea, but she also has tails, some of them. So you might check that out. She's Loom Knit. Patterns by Crocheting Hoovian that you can, that's Laura, that you can relate to tea and or tails in whatever way. And she has that Hufflepuff, which is definitely tea and tails related. She has 3 patterns out. All will be eligible if you can relate it to tea and or tails. And my shawl pattern if you can relate it to tea and or tails. I believe I have one of my testers who is doing one right now, and if it was related to tea and or tails, she could do that. So those are the multiple prizes. You are responsible for your own multiple postings, okay, please, and you guys have been fantastic about that. Sometimes I will remind somebody, but or one of the moderators will, or somebody else will, to make sure you do your multiple postings. And if you think we don't know why, say why. Put the ball band, put the name of the pattern, whatever it is, so we know why you're doing it. Okay, the prizes for this quarter, which will be ending next week, is a skein of my DK yarn base, Lady Vertical Creations and DK base. It's Mystic colorway, and that was donated by Stephanie Cookie 45. Thank you, Stephanie. And she also donated a Franciscan Gypsy Designs mug, and that's for another winner. So thank you for that,
Thank
Stephanie.
you very much.
Okay? Very, very generous. And the end of the year prize, I'm not going to talk about that or the fourth quarter. Okay. So that brings us into cardiac dysautonomia awareness. And I guess I have the stuff to say. Substantially, the rules are all the same, okay? This is for cardiac and dysautonomia awareness. One is heart, one is, what is it, autoimmune?
No, not autoimmune. It's dysautonomia.
But what is it that it affects? You told me.
The autonomic nervous system.
Okay. So, this is what we're focusing on for this, and this is going to end at the end of the month. And the only difference to the rules is the colors that you need to use. It has to be substantially blues, teals, turquoises, those kind of bluey greeny kind of colors, along with blue, or shades of reds and or pinks. Okay, you can use all of them together or just one of those colors, as long as it's substantial, at least about 75% of that color, 50 to 75% of that color. Some of the people who have done multiple colors, like with stripes and things, it's really fun.
Right.
Okay, so we like the fact. We don't like the fact that Taya has dysautonomia, but we like the fact that since we've opened this up, we've been able to give people who maybe didn't like working with reds and pinks so much more options. The blues and the green blues and the turquoises and the aquas and things like that. And we are seeing a lot of people doing this, so we're really happy about that. Like I said, the rules are the same as always. And just for Beth, I want to say the prizes because she's a little sad that I'm not going to be able to say this anymore. So, first of all, we have a $10 pattern donated by Rena. Okay, Rena Gale. Thank you very much, Rena. And
Why is she sad that you won't be able to see?
You'll see. The Happy Fuzzy Yarn, the Macaw colorway. And then this is the one that Beth, I told her I have to find something else to say.
This one.
The
Jitsparv Pot.
Soda Nodal.
And the Soda Nodal
colorway, okay? And that's just for you, Beth, okay? So those are the prizes for that. All right, so if you want to go ahead.
You have 7 too.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I went first with my thing.
So? Alrighty. Because Mom's being mildly bratty about it.
How is that being bratty? I'm not being bratty.
Mildly bratty about
I'm
it.
never bratty.
Always bratty. I have merely jotted down notes because I didn't feel like starting up my computer to actually pull up my real notes.
I thought you sent it to yourself.
No, I never even made the notes this week.
You said you were going to send it. I thought that was
No, I actually did not say
you
that.
You are a pain in the behind.
You heard what you wanted to hear.
Don't talk to me about hearing what I want to hear.
This is
head. That's
Nightwing Bunny. And it's the Oops the Bunny pattern designed by me. And I'm using undead yarn.
It's an undead bunny.
It is an undead bunny. And
I think I have an undead bunny.
It is the werewolf base. The darker blue is Cookie Monster. And I think the lighter blue is Atlantis.
It might be, yeah. Yeah, I think it's too light to be Jaws Total.
So.
Oh, is that pretty?
I love how that's working out.
That's so cute.
And here's the... Oops. See, his head fell off.
He lost his head. He lost his oboe head.
He doesn't have an oboe head. He's a bunny head.
How do you know it's on the bunny oboe head?
Then he's got one ear that's going right now.
But it's lop-eared, right? Yeah, there you go.
There. He's got one ear that's going right now.
So cute.
So, he's been making his way.
Okay. He
didn't go with me on retreats. So.
No, so we didn't take a whole lot of stuff. I didn't do any crafting during the retreat. I did some on the way up, and on the day when I got back from the last day of retreat, we sat in the hotel. I did a little then, but I didn't do any of the drive back because I wasn't feeling well with the weather. So, but anyway, this one is in my Kikibu Holiday Owls bag. This is my
teal. Oh yeah, this was in my Vanilla Cape bag. So what should you say?
Teal Preemie baby hat. Okay, this is Illumiknit, and I did make some progress on this before we left on retreat. So that's that. And this is it's in the teal colorway. This is Yarn V, I believe. So that's that. That's all I have to say about that.
Alrighty, so
Oh, you didn't have anything to say about dysautonomia today?
no,
Okay.
that's fine. People have had me go on and
Yeah,
on
we've
and on.
gone on. We've done a lot with dysautonomia.
So in my, let me find the little bag. There it is. In my Silver Shed USA Little Avengers bag versus my Big Avengers bag, because Big Avengers holds your pony.
Mm-hmm.
Horsey.
My little pony. My little pony.
You're my little pony.
My little pony.
So, this is the Twister hat. It's a Patreon. It's a patron
Platinum.
gold and platinum members
But it's called
patterns from the platinum
collection.
collection.
Yeah.
And
Ooh, yes, work done on that.
not a whole lot. This yarn's slightly too big for this bag. I think because it wound really loosely
Right. Sometimes that happens.
for whatever reason, and
Like the one I gave you. Remember
so I probably should have chosen a different bag. Every once in a while, I don't choose correctly. But
you chose poorly.
this is the colorway. Well, first of all, it's the Yarn Tree, and the colorway is X-Files Beyond the Thunderdome.
Cool.
See, I can remember stuff.
I can remember. So I was going Beyond the Thunderdome. I wonder what X-Files has to do with Mad Max. There you go.
So I need to actually measure this because
It looks like you're getting close. What does it be? 5 inches? 7 inches?
no, not for the
Ribbing.
Ribbing.
This- Although that sheepy one is about 5 inches.
the cheapy one was like maybe I don't remember.
It's
I'm
pretty
trying
big.
to see if there's a. I need something with a tape measure in it. Oh, that one. This one over here. Tape measure in it.
I wish you had said something. My bag over there has a tape measure.
No, it's okay. I have one here. I'd rather use mine. That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that. That rude noise.
Oh, is this my bunny? Yes, it is.
She's not very organized this morning.
I'm not really with it this morning.
We're getting over travel lag, I guess.
Wow, this belongs in here too. I haven't had my full fluids this morning either.
I haven't had any fluids except for this tea. I'll have someone to go for a walk.
Okay, you go ahead.
What?
I'm done.
Oh, okay.
I told you that.
No, you just
I
Blather.
did. I said
you blathered. Okay.
You just don't listen to me.
I don't. You have to say something worth listening to first.
So it's your turn. It's not worth listening to.
Not what you said. Okay, in my autism awareness bag, this is my Knitting's My Bag sweater size autism awareness bag by Lois, the lovely Lois. And this is my sea spray shawl. I actually did about 4 or 5 rows on this. I took this one on retreat. No, did I take this on retreat?
I don't know.
Yes, I did. I took
You didn't work on a retreat, did you?
Yes, I did. I worked on it on Sunday night after the last day of retreat. This was what I worked on. And I worked on it before we left. So it's growing. I think this is going to block really pretty. I only have, I had to ball this up because it was starting, the cake was starting to get all tangled. So this is all I have of this one. And because of the type of stitch I'm using with this, it takes up a lot of yarn. So I think I'll be using, I want to go as long as I can with this yarn because it's so pretty. I think, and I should give this back to you because I have no intention of using it.
Well,
So-
hold on my hands.
So I'll put this right here.
No
I'm going to just make it this color because I just love this. Isn't this my color?
I
love
could
this
probably
color.
use this in some way, shape, or form, maybe for an owl hat for you at some point.
I like the color. I'm just not going to use it for this shawl. And that's her yarn, so I wanted to give it back to her. Because the shawl calls for 2 colors. I don't want to.
You don't wanna?
I don't want to. Don't have to. So, isn't that pretty?
That is
The
pretty.
pattern is called the Sea Spray. No, it's the Tidal Wave Shawl by Tamara Kelly. And Spicy Homemaker was doing this ages ago. And I really, really liked it. And I started it, and then I got sidetracked and hand issues and things like that. So I'm way behind. It will be finished eventually. I'm not worried about it. It's pretty. And I thank everybody who has been so supportive of me saying, things like Vonnie said to me, 1 row on a shawl that big is, I mean, this one's not overly big, but like my Bonfire or my Lala Simple Shawl, that 1 row or 2 rows, that's a lot when it starts getting long. And I shouldn't maybe have such high expectations, you know, just because I used to be able to do things fast. I mean, shawls always take a long time.
They do.
And I think what happens is that I put expectations on what I used to be able to do with things like toys and stuff, crochet toys or crochet smaller things, and I expect to be able to do a shawl that way. You know, I forget how long a blanket would take me.
Right.
So, okay, your turn. I didn't mean to go on and on about that, but
You went on.
is Spicy Homemaker still Spicy Homemaker for her name?
I do not know that.
Because I know she changed her podcast when she was still doing it.
Yeah, I do not know for sure.
Spicy Mama.
Okay. So, this is a new project. It wasn't on the needles last time I talked to y'all.
What is that?
This is the wash
right,
mitts,
right.
but it's another platinum pattern for golden platinum
That's a stash enhancement for you.
Yes, patron members for the Bakery Bears, and it's another pattern by Kay. Basically, it's a wash. Eventually, what it'll be is a mitt that covers the whole hand, no fingers or anything, just for like washing with. And this is an I-cord edge that'll then. I-cord handle that'll be like that. So
Watching her do that took all the mystery out of I-cord for me. I don't see what the problem is now.
No, I-cord's not really that exciting, Mo.
Is that, did Kay show you how to do it that way, or just?
No, that's just how you do I-cord.
Oh, okay.
She does give very easy instructions.
Well, Kay is fantastic.
But yes, is all I-cord is.
Kay is fantastic. I love her patterns. I love her
Are you
tutorials.
disappointed now that I-cord's demystified?
No, I'm glad I don't have to worry about it being difficult. It just looks difficult then.
So,
And I thought it was going to hurt my hands because I thought it was a tube.
no, not at all. So this is... Mom picked this up with both of us in mind, but she wasn't starting anything with it anytime soon, so...
And she wanted to make this more quickly, so... But
This
I
is-
want one.
And this mitt is for Mom.
Yeah.
This
mitt.
is Lion Brand Yarns Comfy Cotton Blend. And the colorway is Ocean Breeze.
Right up my alley. I'm sure they have other colors. They just didn't have a lot that we liked when we looked. Did we get that at Walmart?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Maybe when we pick up Davina's more yarn for her blanket, we can pick up another one of that in your color.
yeah. So slowly but surely developing. I didn't work on it much past the day I started
And
it.
how'd you say that you have to do the end? Do you do like on a toe for sock?
I can't recall. I didn't look ahead that
Oh,
far.
yeah. Look for Good are you? Oh, seriously.
So, nice simple pattern.
Okay. The tea is all gone.
And this is in my Plover Bird tie-dye bag.
Okay, now continuing in the K.F. Jones.
Yeah, it's going to seem like
Vein?
we're obsessed with Kay or something, which is kind of creepy.
Kind of true, but her patterns are awesome. So, Samwise Gamgee. This is from my Angel Hat pattern. I started this a year ago, and I put it down. Not because I didn't want to do it, but because I was getting nervous about having to close it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting close to the top. I'm going to have Taya hopefully help me before you go back to work on Monday.
Right. Or not go back to work. Go back implies that...
Well, what I mean is you're going to go back into the workforce.
Yes, I'm going to work my new job.
So I'm doing decreases
Monday.
right now. It's a little bit longer than the amount of inches that she requested, but my husband has a larger head than I do, and this is for him. He knows he's getting it, but I'm going to keep it back for Christmas. This is Marigold Jen in the Scenic Route? Yeah, Scenic Route colorway. And this is a worsted weight yarn. I'm so happy that she does worsted weight hats.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a hat I'll make for charity even. I like her hats. I like this one and I like the bank head.
Right.
She writes a very clear pattern. I'm enjoying it. I'm doing the decreases now. I'm getting ready to, steel myself, maybe do a magic loop.
Yeah, so try with Magic Loop, Mom. Which means you're going to need a longer...
Yeah, I'm going to have to find some 7s that have a longer cord.
Do you have interchangeables?
I do, but I never really use them. I think I still have them.
Well, my point is that you could use your longest needle, or your longest cable size with the US 7s there.
If I needed to, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I also have 7s with the long cord.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really enjoying this hat. When it's finished, it'll go in the Christmas box. I have a good chance of, I hope, of finishing this for Daddy for Christmas. So this goes in here. It matches my bag, and this is a Plover Bird bag. I pulled a bunch of projects in bags that were older projects. They're not all in Anne's bags.
Right.
The people that we've mentioned so far, except for Anne, don't make bags anymore.
Yes.
Except I don't know if Denise does Kikiboo bags.
I don't know, because I thought she restarted, but I think she only sells... I don't think she sells on Etsy anymore.
I think she only sells at her physical store now.
I think she might.
She has a stall or a booth or something that she sells her stuff at. Denise, if you are watching, let us know if you're still selling your bags.
Because I do like her bags.
Yeah, they're nice bags. Denise is Knitting Den.
Yes.
I don't even know if she's still podcasting. Last time I looked, she wasn't.
I do not believe she is.
Yeah.
But I'm so behind in everything podcasting.
Yeah. Well, we've had a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, in my Mama C,
And that's Christina.
Tudor bag, this is the On the Forest Floor pattern by Simone Caritz. And this is for Mom. I'm using Miss Babs Yazawada Skein. Now I will have to look at the bow bands for the colorways.
Yeah, that's a beautiful skein.
Color A is this one. Of course, I don't have a ball band readily available for this.
Well, they can look on your project page.
Yeah, hold on. Ah, they are all out of their bands. Okay. So the green is Trust Me.
Yeah. And I've got that in another shawl.
The blue is Zing. And the multicolor did not fall out of the bands. Did not fall out of the center. Hold on, let me pull it out.
This thing I have in a different color somewhere. Tara, yeah. And this one I have in another sock knitter shawl, this green.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't wear them together. I was going to say, oh, they could work together, but I can't wear two shawls.
I mean, you could, but you'd look weird.
Yeah, it would look weird.
So this got some work done on it before I left for a retreat.
That's so pretty. I'm still working on mine like that. But that's probably where I'm at right now. On mine.
And this is very much Mom's colors.
Mm-hmm. This one's more green than I usually wear.
I think I'm kind of waiting to go farther till I finish my other one that I'm so far on, simply because...
Oh, your red and black one?
Yeah, simply because look how far where I'm at the needles.
Right.
The other needle's a little bit longer.
Well, yeah, and it's better to finish that one and instead of having two on the go.
So.
Yeah. Isn't that pretty? I like that.
Well, I have 3 on the go.
That's right, you do have 3 on the go. Mm-hmm. Are those size 7s?
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love Miss Babs yarn. It's so versatile. You know, DK worsted. You know.
That's why I didn't have hardly any 7s free, or 22 cables free.
Yeah. 22 cables.
This is my 22-inch cables. This is my interchangeable.
Oh, okay. I don't do anything on anything smaller than a 32, unless it's a hat. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. And Valeria gave me this for my birthday a few years back. Isn't it pretty? I'd never seen a bag like this until she gave it to me, and now I see them every so often.
I see that last week too, almost exactly that way too.
No, not exactly that way.
Almost
You can go
exactly.
check it and you see it wasn't.
I didn't say exactly, I said almost
Not
exactly.
even almost exactly. This Needle Cozy Thingy Bobber is
You
by
said something in the same vein.
Sheila, who is Never Cast Off podcast. She's Blue Yarn Always. And the pattern is Lala's Simple Shawl by Laura Linneman. And it's not made, you can't see a lot of progress. It is bigger than the one I showed it last time.
That's
but
so
it's
pretty.
It's slow, but it's getting there. This is my second skein of yarn. And this is one of those that you can go as long as you want. If I finish it and decide I want to do another skein of yarn, I will.
Right, exactly.
Because if this turns out the same as yours, I might want it just a little bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so darn pretty. And I'm not looking for it for the Fiber Festival or anything. I'm looking for it for the winter months, you know, going to church or whatever. Having something that's neutral.
I wouldn't wear something white at the Fire Festival anyway.
No, that's what I'm saying. So this is really pretty, and I can see myself making another one of these, either for myself or for a gift or for charity or whatever. This is just a fun, easy knit. It's just the fact that I have so many things going on that sometimes gets lost in the shuffle. And I'm using 10.5s for these on the bulky yarn, which is kind of, I guess, a small needle for a bulky, isn't it? I mean,
I don't usually work a lot with bulky.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think usually bulkies are like 11s and they have 12s. I don't know. I know they have 13s and 15s and things like that, but I'm enjoying this. This is Laura Linneman writes
I don't
a very
think they
nice
have
pattern.
12s.
I don't know. I think they're odd numbers once they get past 11. So Laura Linneman writes a very nice pattern. If you haven't done this pattern yet, I recommend that you check it out if you're looking for a shawl pattern that looks complicated but really isn't. Because if I can do this, anybody can. Is she Lala, or is she Lala Knits? I don't remember. You told me last time and I don't remember. I'll just put
I
Laura
think she's
Linneman.
Lala.
I'll put Laura Linneman here. You know who it is. And she is Laura, not Lara, right?
She's what?
Laura, not Lara.
She's Laura, yes.
Okay. Your turn.
Okay, so, let me put that like that. Okay. In my, yes, this one. Silvershed USA Tree Frogs bag.
I miss when you used to say tree turtles.
And there's the inside.
It's pretty inside.
This is another On the Forest Floor by Simone Crete. Also with Miss Babs Yazawada Skane. Alright, let's see. This is Fountain Pen. This is,
oh, I know what that is, I think. Squash something?
Squash Blossom.
Yep.
And, this one,
Is that Miss Babs?
this is Miss Babs. I used it in a hat as well. And I can't remember the name of this one. And I don't have the ball band in here.
It reminds me of grass, but
It's in my
show notes. Project page.
in my project page.
Are those 7s as well?
Yeah, they're all the same size.
I have a bad habit. If I don't have a 7, I'll use an 8 for a shawl or
I don't
whatever.
generally.
You know, because a shawl, I'm like, isn't that pretty?
So,
Look at those colors.
and it's made to match a hat.
matchy matchy.
So, a little bit farther than I think than on yours.
It almost looks like a hat itself, a big hat.
And it's a little bit farther because I have slightly longer needles on this one.
Okay, like 24s or 25s or whatever, 26s.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are for interchangeables, but
This isn't interchangeable.
oh, it's not. Then it's probably a 32,
So,
unless it's 24.
I think it's either 24 or 32.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. In my Silvershed USA Caterpillar bag, I love, love, love Anne's bags. Okay, this is my Tangerine Dreams Preemie Baby Hat project. And I think I'm pretty close to finishing. Why am I tied up in here? Oops. It's getting tangled up in my hat. Okay. So you can see I'm about, I think I maybe have a couple more inches to do of this before I finish it. And this is definitely a preemie. This fits Jimena, but it's a little more snug than the other one. So it's a small baby hat, either a preemie or an infant. And I call it, it's my Tangerine Dreams baby hat. So that goes in here. And this is Knit Picks yarn. No. Yes, it is. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Okay. Alright, that's that.
okay. So, In my Silver Shed USA Kitties in the News bag, this got worked on a lot during retreat, during travel retreat, all that. This is another On the Forest Floor by Simone Carite. And the colorways are... Hold on.
I know what the black is.
Hang on, Mom. I need you not to be pulling on the bag. You're actually making it more difficult for me.
But I want to make it difficult.
The black is Obsidian.
And the red is?
The red is Vlad's.
Yeah. Okay, the only one I'm not sure of is the gray.
I feel like the gray is like pewter or something.
Yeah.
And I have random tea sugar in there.
I thought you were going to say you had a random tooth in there.
Yeah, I think it's like slate or... I know, what's this? Pewter.
Pewter. Okay, good.
So...
Well done. It's called curling up on there.
Oh, probably because I'm in the middle of a row.
Oh, that'll do it.
So, and I'm really like literally very
middle.
much in the middle of the row. Well, you don't really get a good feeling for it right now, but I actually got a lot of work done on it.
The colors are gorgeous. Look at that.
You can't pull on it too
I'm
much.
not pulling on it.
But
I know things.
I'm about to head into another one of these sections.
Very pretty.
What happened was I got tired in the car and went to sleep instead of finishing my row.
Okay. All right, in my, let me see here, Ploverbird Owls bag, that is this one, is my Autumn and Avonlea project from the Anne's Imagination Cal Green Gables inspired pattern by Tanya Marie Anderson. I did a little bit on this in the car. I think I did a couple rows in the car on the trip up. So I've got a little more of the bumps in the pattern. You can see it a little better now. I was worried that this yarn might be a little too busy for the pattern, but I think it'll be fine. So I think the yarn is Scano, and I think it has some silk in it, as I said last week. And I really like this pattern. Tanya Marie makes it easy to follow, and I really would like to finish this by Christmas for my mom. We'll see if that actually happens. Not entirely sure I want to give it away, but I think she'd like it. And I can always make another one.
Right.
So
And you said it's a cowl, right?
it's a cowl.
Yeah, then she would know how to wear it too.
Yeah, it's seamed. You seam it, as you can tell. I'm not in the round, so I really like the pattern and stuff. I wonder if she would consider doing fingerless mitts to go with it. So that's that.
And then I have one final. In my Ploverbird Turtles bag is the You Are Beautiful hat. And I didn't feel like working on socks, so I used this.
Oh, is that the new one?
Yeah, I used the yarn intended for heels and toes. This is
She never started my sock like she said she would.
I am a horrible person.
Horrible, horrible person. I gave her the yarn. She said, "Hurry up, Mom, so I can start on the trip." And so I hurried up and did it for you. Oh, do I have to do the spoon?
I might make you a hat instead, an owl hat instead with it.
With the heels and toes? You
The
made
whole
me,
thing.
You made me do a set for socks.
It all work for... Oh no, it's heavier weight than what I need for the owl hat.
If you're not going to use it, give it back to me. I'll reskein it and I'll sell it.
In Dragonfly Fibers Traveler base, this is a rodeo colorway.
You can do what you want with it, Talia. I don't really care.
And the hat pattern is...
That's almost the same as this.
It's very close.
What's the color of it? Rodeo?
Rodeo.
Okay.
It's a different design, a dyer.
Mm-hmm.
This is Cool Harbor Twist by Woolly Wormhead.
Oh, right. Is it all going to be one color? Or?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Does that have a little tassel on it too?
Yeah, 'cause I'll probably do the tassel on it too.
I guess it's the original woolly worm head that has the little like dragon tail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not the original, it's just the one I happen
Well,
to...
it's the one I think of as the original.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the first one I heard of.
Yeah. So, it's looking nice so far.
And you said this was in socks before? You put that in socks before?
Yeah, I have part of it in a heel, and the socks are probably going to be pulled out, and I'm going to use the other...
Poor little weepy socks.
I don't feel like finishing this sock.
Well, then don't. How much did you have done on it?
I was a little past the heel
Oh, that's not too... Well...
of the first sock.
Oh, that's a lot, isn't it? 'Cause you do top down, don't you?
Mhm.
Oh, gee.
I don't feel like finishing
Well,
it.
then get rid of it.
And I really like that yarn, the main yarn. It's Maryland Crab.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty.
And it'll be really
Oh, that's
pretty in a
shame.
hat.
Yeah, it would be. Well, depends. If you have too much of a pattern, it'd be too busy.
Well, if I do something like a Diana's hat.
Yeah.
Or
That'd be
something
pretty.
fairly
That'd be
plain.
pretty, yeah.
So,
As long as it gets used, it won't weep too much.
no. Well, I love that yarn. It'll be something I keep.
Okay. In my Mama C bag, I love this, my owl bag, is September the Baby Turtle from the Biddy the Bashful Baby Turtle pattern by Talia. And I did a little bit of work on this. I'm almost ready to do the ridge row.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting close on my, well, I'm not getting close. I should be able to do another shell with this, I think. You think?
Possibly. I mean, I'm
'Cause
just...
I don't have too many more rows on this.
Yeah, you should be able to. I mean, I'm just eyeballing.
And that's all we have. I mean, you don't use the multicolor except for the top of the shell.
Yeah.
So I love this color. This is Dragonfly Fibers. I want to say it's the sheath colorway. Sheath colorway?
You actually have show notes there.
I do, but I wanted to try to remember it. Dragonfly Fibers
Sheath.
in the sheath colorway. So I was right. And then this is the Fresh colorway by Marigold Jen. This is going to be the limbs and the head, or the two limbs and the head, because there's only two limbs.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be the bottom of the shell. And if I am able to get another shell out of this, then I'll switch them. So they'll be mirror twins.
Aw.
So, and I thought about giving the thing away, but now I'm not so sure. We'll see.
Mom
see.
has a very hard time giving away toys.
But they look at me and they don't want to be given away.
There's a reason why we have a menagerie.
Uh-huh. I think Daddy complains a little bit, but I think he thinks it's better than me actually bringing home a dozen animals. So, I'm having fun with this. I do love this pattern. In general, I like all Talia's patterns, but if I had to take three of them, it would be the Owl, Biddy, and Brat.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's that. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay, any FOs?
No, you do though.
Yes. I finished Davina's Coal Harbor Twist hat. It still needs to be blocked. Because I finished
Oh, you
it
gave
at
her a
retreat.
little teeny tiny.
Yeah, I told her I would.
Oh, okay.
Because she wanted a French,
Oh, right.
'Cause-
Is that an I-cord?
yes.
How did you do an I-cord after you closed it up?
That had a few stitches that were still left. You close up except for a few stitches, then you I-cord up and bind off at the top of the
Oh, okay.
I-cord. So.
That's cute. That's
and
really cute.
She can do it at whatever angle she wants.
I like the
to.
way it turned out. That's cute.
So.
It looks very... You know what it reminds me of? Because of the seed stitch?
Mhm.
It reminds me of the cartoon Mary Poppins where they're going step in time. No, not step in time. Where they're doing the gypsies and they're wearing these kind of hats.
Oh, okay.
And because of the seed stitch, it looks like it has those what are they called? Rhinestones.
Oh, okay.
But it's not bright enough. But that's what it reminds me of. And I like this details here.
So, I'm interested in seeing how it'll look plain. I think it'll look even classier plain in a plain hat.
Well, this is more fun.
yeah. Well, this is what Davina wanted.
Yeah.
And the this is the colorway's Hope, and the yarn is Wild Hair Fiber Studio.
And that's local to us. She's local
Yeah.
to us right down the street. She goes to our church.
So I just need to block this.
She has very nice yarn.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what's next?
Any stash enhancements?
Yeah. Actually, there is, okay? I received you saw our project bags. I saw some people posting pictures of their bags. Vonnie picked up the next size up of the traveler bag as well as the regular bag. Did you see the picture? She got 2 bags.
Oh, no, I didn't see.
They're awesome. They're both blue. Anyway, I decided I forgot to ask Anne to send us Notions pouches. So I bought one for me and for Talia. She sent one for Davina, and she sent one for you guys. Okay? So the Notions pack. So this is Talia's.
Yay, thank you.
And this is mine. Okay. Davina got her choice. She chose the blue. So this is the one that's up for grabs. And I haven't quite decided if I'm just going to put it up in a thread or if we're going to make it part of the... We already have an Anne's bag in there. So I think what I'll do is I'll just put this up in a thread.
Okay.
Or we could put it in the toilet. We'll discuss it. You'll see this soon enough as a prize somewhere. Okay?
Yes.
Anne makes fantastic bags, and this little project bag is quite large.
Yes. It's not a project bag. It's a Notions
pouch. You can put your hooks and your needles and your stitch markers and your scissors and everything like that in here. And it's very generous. I bought 2. She gave us these other 2.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Anne, for your generosity.
Thank you so much.
This will be a prize. So I'll put this back here so we don't lose it. It doesn't get damaged. And these go here. I'll give Tamina hers in a little bit. Thank you very much, Anne.
Thank you.
Okay, next.
That should be it, because I don't have any stash enhancement.
Okay, well, I have yarn. I got stash enhancements for you, too, at the retreat.
Right.
But they're not knitting, so we
No.
won't show those. I do have some more yarn to show you. I did show you these last week. The Oops and the Serenity. This one, remember I told you I didn't know what the colorway was. I talked to the person. This is now called Professor Plum Deluxe. Those of you who've been with me for a while, with us for a while, know that the last 3 years that I've been involved with Plum Deluxe in one way or another, I've done a colorway for them around this time of year. So, there's Happy Mail, which was last year, Plum Deluxe, which was the year before, and the revamped of that, which was last year. And then this year is Professor Plum Deluxe. So this is more Professor Plum Deluxe. This one is in a fingering soft, these 2. And the different bases will take it a little differently, but this is the Plum Deluxe, Professor Plum Deluxe. Let me show you how this one took the dye. So you can see.
Just took it a little bit differently.
So this is Professor Plum. It's very pretty. I like it a lot. I would use this for a shawl or a hat, or it'd be nice with an accessory set.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fallish.
It is.
This is Professor Plum Deluxe. So I have 2 of these, and I will be dyeing quite a few of these. If you like any of these yarns I'm showing you today that are Plum Deluxe related, let me know and what base you would like it in, because I'm going to be dyeing up a fair amount of these for the people in the Plum Deluxe group who do craft. Historically, they at least give me a few sales with that. So this is Professor Plum Deluxe. And then I did a couple more Happy Mail. I think I have some Happy Mail in the shop that's a different weight. I'm not positive.
And Happy Mail's always been such a pretty color.
Yeah, Happy Mail, people like Happy Mail. So this is
I
Happy
actually
Mail.
have never had any Happy Mail. The yarn.
I gave you Happy Mail.
No, I never have had Happy Mail.
I thought you had at least one. Okay,
Nope,
this is Happy
never
Mail.
had Happy Mail.
This is Happy Mail. This is DK, my DK base. Both of these are DK. I think I have some fingering in the shop. I'm not sure. I have to check. If I don't, I can always make more if you want it. So this is Happy Mail. Obviously, these have to be reskeined. They were just finished drying before we left for retreat, so I had not reskeined them. Smells good. Okay, so I have those yarns. As I said last podcast, my shop is open again, but I probably will not update it until the 1st of October, the first week of October, because I'd like to get more yarn to put up in the shop before I do that. So,
finish my row.
So that's that.
Just want to show you guys really quickly so you can actually see this knot in the middle of the row.
Very pretty.
That's what it looks like when you actually are looking at it. There we go.
And the reason for this colorway, for those of you who are not familiar with Plum Deluxe, everything is purple or purple and orange
Yes.
and cream, but their packages, we call their packages Happy Mails. We do anything we get from Yarn, and their purple packages are their Happy Mail. So, because everything comes in a purple package.
Everything.
Everything. Everything. And you can see the difference here between the yarns. They're definitely different. Plum and Professor Plum. Professor Plum likes the Happy Mail.
Yeah, it's definitely a different purple.
Yep. So that's that. Okay. All right. That's all I have about that.
Okay, so that leads on to autobiography.
All right. We did a lot of brainstorming
Yes.
for the shared story, and
That
had
feels
some-
like an eon ago.
I know, but it was interesting. For any of you who write, you know what we're talking about. When you're working with characters and stuff, sometimes they just talk to you. And we were talking about something, and all of a sudden, it's like, oh, this happens, and this happens, and this happened, and this is how they connected here, and this is what this character's background is. And we had one of those like light bulb moments. So we're really excited about that. We got a new character. We got a whole new family structure.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool. I did do a bit of writing. Actually, I did a fair amount of writing this time around, but
We didn't get a new character. The character was already there. It just...
well, she had kind of fallen into the background, and we knew she was kind of there, but she wasn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, she was just, and all of a sudden she just took center stage and
Yeah.
connected with one of your characters. So she will be staying a lot longer.
Yes.
So, and we found out that this is going to make another character grow a lot more.
Yes.
And so that's really a lot of fun. Still reading, had a wonderful retreat.
Yes.
The retreat was fantastic. We had a wonderful Italian priest from Italy, and he speaks wonderful English. He speaks about, I don't know, he said 8 languages or something like that,
Yeah.
10 languages. And he does have an accent, and he gets very animated. So sometimes I told him, I said, "You're confusing me." So he explains it, and he's perfect. He's the cutest little priest. He's retired, and he's just very intelligent. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot. We had to work really hard to understand, but that was just the language.
Yeah,
it was
language
just
barrier.
it was just the
And
language.
some of it was language barriers. Some was, when someone's talking way up here and you're down here somewhere.
He's way up here and we're down here, and and then some of that was, even though he speaks English very, very well,
Yeah.
sometimes the construction is different, and
Right.
you have to think about it. People who speak English and Spanish or English and French or whatever, sometimes you have to get verb in the
Yeah.
subject reversed or whatever. So it was a little more work, but it was well worth it. And he was really very, very approachable and sweet, and we had a lot more clergy this time, priests and brothers, and we didn't have as many sisters this time.
No, there's only the one.
There was only Sister Mary Peter, but
And she's there every year.
She's
And
there every
every year I forget it's her birthday at the time of
I wished
retreat.
her happy birthday. I said, "It was your birthday, right?"
Well, I always forget that one of the members of HFI is her sister.
Yes, that's the lady with the ponytail.
Yeah, I always forget that too.
Yeah,
Because apparently I have short-term memory loss.
well, that's long-term memory now.
Apparently I have long-term memory loss.
But we had a wonderful time. It was very restful and relaxing. It was a smaller retreat this year. I think the weather, the things happening in the Carolinas and then the fires in California, I think took their toll on our membership coming. But it was a lot of fun. So we thank everybody who prayed for us and who
Yes.
wished us well on the retreat. We appreciate that. Somebody asked if Talia made her novitiate. She did make her novitiate, so that was really nice. And she answered when I replied as well, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Okay, you saw... Do you have anything else for author?
No.
Okay. You saw the skeins of yarn that I'm going to be putting up. I'll be hopefully doing a lot more dyeing. Maybe not in the next week, but when Talia goes back to work and I can get my schedule back on some kind. It's hard to get a schedule when you don't know exactly what's going on. And when Talia's here, we have a lot more running around to do during the day. So hopefully when she's back at work, she'll get her schedule set up better, and I'll get my schedule back set up, and we'll be able to be a little more consistent.
Well, we'll get a routine again.
Routine, yeah. So it'll be different, but we hope to be able to...
Yeah, it's just going to take adjustment for all of us.
Yeah. And you might see fewer projects,
Mm-hmm.
but, we hope to be able to have at least some. All right, that's reading. Okay, the knitting ephemera. I can reach it here. Excuse my head. Excuse me. I guess I should put on my glasses. Because apparently my eyes don't want to focus on print very well. Okay. Okay, I don't know if anybody heard of Grace Ennis, but we're going to hear about her now. Grace Ennis was a California housewife who turned her passion for knitting socks and later neckties with novelty designs into a successful knitting pattern line. She started out by designing argyle socks for her husband, a naval officer who loved her hand knits. His friends on base loved them too, so she began designing and knitting for others. Her designs eventually became so popular that she was dubbed a pretty Bel Air blonde whose work was full of sex appeal by Los Angeles Times. Excuse me. After Ennis's husband's friends and co-workers began ordering her creations, she decided to start her own business. Her company, Graphic Knitting Patterns, was established in 1946. With the money she earned from her first sales, Ennis hired a lithographer to print 500 copies of her patterns. The printer made a mistake, printing 2,000 instead, and there still weren't enough to fill all of Ennis's orders. Later, Ennis and her husband bought their own printing press and began printing the patterns from home. By 1955, Graphic Knitting Patterns was earning $200,000 a year in gross sales. Holy mackerel.
Yikes.
In November 1961, wildfires in Bel Air ravaged the Ennis home. Grace escaped without injury, but the home was destroyed. So were Ennis's patterns. The homeowner's insurance wasn't enough to rebuild, so they moved to Santa Ana. Ennis tried reintroducing some of her patterns in 1963, but sales fizzled and she eventually closed the business. Many years later, while preparing for another move, Ennis and friends happily discovered that a box of patterns survived the fire. After a retaining wall had fallen on the boxes, sheltering them from fire damage. Her friend vowed to begin selling the patterns again and was able to make them available for a time at a small number of knitting retailers. Ennis patterns feature traditional geometric designs like argyle, lattice, and diamond patterns, while also others are also delightfully kitschy: a pipe with smoke rings, a surfer riding a wave, golf clubs, a cocktail, playing cards, a hot dog on a skewer, and many more. Her patterns can still be found on online auction sites. So if you're interested in it, you can go to an online auction site. Her name is Grace Ennis, and I guess the patterns would be under Graphic Knitting Patterns?
I don't know.
Graphic Knitting Patterns. Okay, so that's your knitting ephemera for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, we'd like to thank everybody who commented in Ravelry and on YouTube. I think I got everybody, even the ones that were directed at Talia. So we want to thank especially the ones on YouTube because we sometimes do miss them. Ravinshad, Wombat of Doom 53, Doom, Sue, The Wagar Zoo, Elenis Crafts, Rena, Stephanie, and Pat. And as I've said multiple times before, I don't like to put your last names on YouTube unless you know.
Put your last names on the air.
On the air, in case you're okay with that. I know that they're on the YouTube channel, but you know someone might see it who doesn't look on the YouTube channel at the comments. So
yeah.
Thank you for your comments, everybody, whether you're on YouTube or you're on Ravelry. And thank you for the private messages.
And if you're going to be at Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival, say hi.
Yeah, we'll be there on Saturday early. I'm not sure how late we'll be staying. A lot depends on how Talia feels. But we will be there early in the morning, probably till after lunch at least.
Yeah.
So look for us. Say hi. We would love to see you and talk to you and get pictures and things like that. It makes us happy to do that. We always love meeting up with people who watch the podcast. You're all friends and family, so that's really nice. We will be podcasting next week on Sunday, so there might be fewer projects, but there might be some stash enhancements.
Right.
Okay? And in the meantime, we wish you a week full of knitting, crocheting, crafting, whatever it is that makes you very, very happy. And we hope to see you back here for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 325, and that's a wrap.
Bye.